welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Emma and I'm a romance writer from the UK. I have seen quite a few videos recently about people leaving their jobs and setting out to be a full-time writer, to really prioritize their writing career. And I think that is absolutely fantastic. I think we get one life and we have to prioritize our happiness as much as possible. We have to try to achieve the things that we want to and to go after our dreams. But sometimes it is absolutely not possible to do that, to walk away from a well-paid job that supports you and maybe your family, and to throw caution to the wind. And it can definitely feel like something that it is unattainable to do. So I just kind of wanted to look at this idea a little bit more and talk about how there are lots of different ways to get to a point in your creative career where, I guess the ideal for everybody who wants to be a writer or another form of creative is to be able to pay our bills with what we love doing, is to be able to support ourselves fully. And that can take time to do. And I think in most cases, it does take a lot of time to do. So when you see these people saying, that they're giving up their jobs to do this, that won't be a spur of the moment decision. They won't have just woken up and decided, I want to be an artist this week and I'm just going to give up everything. Or at least I hope that they're not doing that. Probably it is the combination of many years of building up their writing or their art or whatever other creative business they're doing, until it gets to a point where they are thinking, okay, I'm ready to take the next step. I have built up some savings that are behind me that will see me through for the next year, 18 months, or whatever. I know that I can make a certain amount of money in this career that I'm going to launch myself into fully. And yes, it is still taking a bit of a chance, but it's an educated one, if you like. It's been thought through and it has been planned. So in my case, I did not plan to become a writer. I didn't spend years studying to be a writer, honing my craft and things like that. I think as a kid, I probably would have thought that being a writer would be a really cool job. I've always loved writing. I've always loved learning and history. And history is actually what I studied at university rather than creative writing. I wrote a book and then I wrote another book, and they happened to be taken on by a publisher, and it kind of went from there. And so my writing career now is at a point where it does pay the bills. It does all the good stuff that you want it to do. But like I say, that has taken years to build up. And my income comes from many different places because I am very aware that my book income can go up and down, and it does every single year. So I've been very lucky in that I have had Audible deals for audiobooks and things like that, which bring in a nice lump sum of money. So some years I will be earning a lot more than others because of things like that. So what I've done to kind of level things out a bit, and so that I know, or pretty much know, that there will be enough money to cover what I want my creative career to cover, is that I've taken on other things. So I do developmental editing, I teach a creative writing class, I offer book coaching. All of these other things feed into the money from writing, so that it's just a more stable system, is probably the best way to put it. I'm not relying on any one thing in particular because there's lots of different things coming into it. So if one of them doesn't do very well, it's not a disaster because there's something else that can pick up the slack. And I have been doing this. What are we now? We're like 12, 13 years in. I think about 10 years ago, I had an internationally best selling book on my hands. And that year, I made a really good amount of money, and that was very, very exciting. The next year, I got a problem with one of my ears and I couldn't write, and I left my publisher. So my income went from very, very nice indeed to nothing. And it is that has made me so aware of just how up and down things can be. So if you are watching one of the videos from these people or reading something about somebody who has given it all up to focus on their creative career, be happy for them. Of course, we celebrate other people's successes, their wins, their dreams, but also be aware that it can take a very long time to get to that point. And just because you're not there right at this moment does not mean that you can't get there if you have a plan that you can put into action. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to happen just at the pace that is right for you. There are as many different ways to build a creative career as there are creatives, and it's just a case of finding the right one for you. And that might have a lot of ups and downs, and it might not look completely like you thought that it would when you start out on your path, but trust in the process, take what opportunities come to you, and it will grow, it will build, and really hopefully you will get to the point where you are able to say that you can focus on what you love and that it will actually pay the mortgage. Well, thank you very, very much for joining me today. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, because we have a lot of fun on this channel, and I will catch you in the next one.